Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2. Where we left off last time, we were headed towards the Gullet and I was on my way there when a Principie group notices you walking and approaches you in the street. We have an encounter. So that's not exactly ideal, but hopefully things will go okay. We have tentacles, so that should help. Well, look what finally washed into port. Oh. She's just very quiet. Seraphin stops as the other pirates approach, his fists balled. The heat of his anger flushes your skin, then seeps beneath, simmering your thoughts.
Hold up, Cap. That be Malnage, the High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire herself, awaiting us like a shark in hate.
Well, that's not good. Okay, I'm just gonna move my microphone a teensy bit. Sorry for the noise if there is one. Keep calm, Seraphin.
Steady as the sea, Cap.
A flash of ice-cold loathing cuts through the heat of Seraphin's anger, threatening to wash over you. Let the visions come. Aching shoulders, aching wrists, aching ankles, bound and gagged, the filthy rag in your mouth soaked through and briny, every breath like drowning, hanging from the bowsprit. The rise and fall of the swells, the sea spray, a chilling shock. Malnage shouting from the bulwark. Ignore it, she says, ignore it and focus your useless sack of spider shit. Reality rushes back to you like an approaching wave.
Captain, I've heard a mess and a half about you. Mostly good. Though I see your tasting company could use some refining.
The Orlin gestures to Seraphin with a smirk.
Typical Malnage. Can't match my skill, so you try to spew shit.
Boy, when you're as old as me, your skill will still be naught more than the untrained fumbling of an adherent maid to the refined workings of my mind.
Nice. The sailors backing her chuckle. What brings you here, Malnage?
I've heard about your run-ins with Captains Benweth and Ferrante. Meeting the old Principie seems like. Almost makes a girl green. The envy of missing the party.
She grins, her mouth filled with yellow, sharp teeth.
I'm tracking a man by the name of Rimaro. Traitor to the cause.
Romaro ain't no traitor, you mind-blind sack of squid squirts.
Seraphin growls, fists tight and fur bristling. You feel the anger coil around him and spill outward, and your visions begin to swim. Let's see them again. A sharp strike against your cheek, and your head hits wood hard. The wet of something rolling down the back of your scalp, clumping in your fur, and Malnage standing over you, fists balled. A flash like anger and copper in your mouth, then an old man, eyes equal part kindness and rage, hauling her back, shouting her down, turning to you, leaning in, the rage fleeing. The anger slides past, and your vision resolves into the Nekataka street.
Captain, there'll be a bounty of some 4,000 pounds on Rimaro, quick or dead. I'd be willing to cut you a tenth of that, here and now, if you give me any knowledge you might have stumbled across on your travels.
She glances again at Seraphin. Kindly fuck off. Malnage blinks and Seraphin chuckles quietly. The pirate's lips twist into a smirk, but her eyes narrow.
Careful, Watcher. You don't want to go making yourself an enemy of the Principie Sen Patrena. Anyone aids our enemies shares their fate, you know?
She draws a finger across her throat.
Fare thee well, Captain. See you around, Seraphin.
She turns on her heels and leads her crew away. I love the options we're given for speech in this game. Just like, hey, do you want this deal? No, you can fuck right off. They're not afraid to allow legit swearing into this game. I like that. Good job, Obsidian. Quite enjoying it so far. Back to the Gullet path that we were going on. We can finally get this other quest underway, involving the two feuding noble houses. You leave the bustle of the crowds behind, making your way along the winding path into the Gullet. For a time the path ascends the mountain, even so the cramped walls and run-down Hawana buildings close in around you, obscuring your view. Why is my number 1 button not working? You come to a dark passage cutting through the mountain, just wide enough to accommodate a wagon. The path here descends steadily into the rock face. Okay, I'm gonna tab out and tab back in and see if that helps. Weird, okay. After a lengthy journey through the dimly lit tunnel, you come to the gates of the Gullet. The stench hits at you first, a foul mixture of rot, stale air, and bodily odors. You notice a guardsman pushing a cart heaped high with moldering food, which must account for some of the smell. Ahead, the homes of the Gullet emerge as a collection of lights amid the darkness. You hear the rush of water below, and a frigid breeze wafts up from the unseen depths like an exhalation. So we made it into the Gullet. Oh, it's pretty in here, though.
Please, I did nothing.
You see a man being dragged along a rickety boardwalk towards a rusty cage that swings over the abyss. He strains against the guard's grip. The guard delivers a savage backhand.
Enough! Or do you wish to consign her to the old city as well?
The warrior casts a meaningful glance at a woman standing a short distance away.
Let him go!
She screams at the guards, but she doesn't dare approach. The man notices her. His face lights up with shame.
Beer, I'm sorry.
Your tongue flops like a dying fish. I tire of its stink. Lower him down!
Where's it going? What's down there? I am deeply curious. The guards drag the roperoo into a metal cage and lock him inside. He shouts and rattles the bars as it's lowered over the edge of the platform. Eventually his screams are lost to the depths.
May Tangaloa devour your souls, you cold-blooded eels.
Wonder what that was all about. I wonder what's down there. I want to go down there now and explore. Alright, well we made it here. This is where we're supposed to be. The Narrows, the refuse pile. Well, we'll go to the refuse pile first. There could be some loot. That is a crap ton of refuse. Roperoo. She sniffs and coughs. Oh, it's just Roperoo something. No, it's just Roperoo. And then there's street urchins as well. Half-eaten food scraps litter the pile. Rancid stench rises from it. Ugh, gross. I'm gonna steal whatever this is.
Have you any food? Surely you've a scrap to spare.
I mean, I do have some food. Apparently you don't want to talk to me though, so that's fine. I think we want to go to the hole. That's where we're headed, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're not gonna go to the Narrows yet. We can go to the Sanctuary though. Hit the Sanctuary. Is that where we're supposed to go? Family Pride. Okay. Well, we'll go down there.
How? Poison me? Akira, no thanks.
A cat!
Not my thing.
I'm
Sammy.
stealing the cat. We're gonna
You
gather
must gather your
every pet we possibly can find in the city. Important.
before venturing forth.
Italy is here. The woman bends over a pile of dried, bitter-smelling herbs. She's crushing and mashing them on a dirty scrap of parchment, coughing with effort. She steps in front of you to block your way, wiping a ragged sleeve across her roomy, bloodshot eyes.
Paintley? Good God, I nearly didn't recognize you. You look more death-warmed over than Dawnstar.
Edir gives a nod and a wink.
I didn't see you there, Shody. Listen, you and your friends should move along.
She turns her head and stifles a croupy cough.
I'm not feeling so good, and I'd hate to get you sick.
Are you ill? You hear a muffled hacking and the unsteady rhythm of labored wheezing breaths coming from the back of the room.
Nothing a little ginger root and some bed rest won't cure. Please, let me be.
She takes another step, blocking your view of the room beyond. The herbs on the table give off an odor that scratches your throat. I hear people coughing in the back. She shakes her head and sighs.
It's hard to keep them quiet.
She lets loose with another fit of coughing, loud enough this time to echo in the small dwelling. She finishes and wipes flecks of blood from her mouth. Well, that's not good.
There's some sick Raparu in the back. Not much I can do for them now besides keep them comfortable.
She looks at the crimson speckle on her wrist.
And hidden.
Is that wise? Keeping a room full of sick people in the most crowded district in the city?
He glances around as if he can see the noxious vapors in the air.
It's better than leaving them to wander the district. I can give them a dignified death, if nothing else.
Why are you hiding them?
Because they've got drowner's lung. Spreads like gossip and kills even faster.
What's that?
A gift from the Valians.
She scowls, dabbing the rheum from her eyes.
Fills your lungs with fluid. Gets you coughing all the time, trying to clear them. One of my patients coughed so hard, she broke a rib. Eventually, it gets so bad, you can't hack it out. You just lie there, struggling for breath, until you choke on your own phlegm. I hear it's a long, hard end.
She trails off for a moment, a distant look in her watering eyes.
I heard some Raparu had gotten sick, so I brought them here to care for them. City healers don't come down here.
She frowns and gives her nose a vicious wipe.
Realized what it was when I heard the rattle in their chests, the way they gasped for air.
She wipes the back of her hand on her leg and shoulders.
Only cure is an elixir made with pine seed oil. It costs a lot, though not nearly as much as an epidemic. Still, if news of this outbreak gets out, these poor souls will get tossed into the old city. No one with any money in Nekataka spends it on the Riparu.
It could be so cruel. You should have warned me.
I tried to send you out, didn't I?
Her filmy eyes shine with anger.
Anyway, there's a cure. You can get nearly anything on Delver's Row. Only trouble is finding it, and paying for it. Unfortunately, the children of the Dawnstars don't have many connections in this part of town.
She turns away, whooping and hacking into her arm.
But you might. Not meaning any offense, just that you seem like someone who's comfortable on that side of town. If not, I bet you could find someone at the tavern who knows where Delver's Row is.
She shrugs.
Criminal types like to wet their throats after a long day of lying, cheating, and stealing.
She chuckles herself into another coughing fit. What interest do the children of the Dawnstars have in the Gullet?
About the only honest one. The Riparu here are treated like garbage. Even made to eat garbage from that scrap heap opposite the lift.
Yeah, that thing's pretty sick.
And Dario and his Principie scum took advantage of the neglect down here to set up the black market on Delver's Row.
Sorry for that, I had to sneeze. Go on. Dario.
He runs most of the criminal mischief that goes on here.
Okay.
Some say he's an old Valian traditionalist. Some say he's a thug with good taste.
She holds her hands out, shifting her open palms like platforms on a scale.
Either way, I steer clear of him.
She shivers, whether out of fear or illness, you couldn't say. Go on.
All the while, the Gullet gets more crowded as tribes from the other islands come to Nekataka. Some are driven from their homes by pirates, raiders, even trading company thugs.
Her eyes darken.
Others hear stories of the foreign wealth pouring into the city. What they don't realize is most of it flows between the foreigners and the palace.
She makes a circular motion with her finger. Then maybe Delver's Row spread some of the wealth down here.
That's what Dario and his people say. They recruit Riparu to sneak things from the docks, report on meetings between traders.
She grimaces.
I can't blame the Riparu. Not when the alternative is eating from a trash pile. But I don't trust these Principie any more than I do the trading companies.
She folds her arms, shaking her head.
Difference being, lass, the Riparu be their customers and confederates alike. To the company bilge barnacles, they be only product.
He taps the end of his snout.
And whenever the city authorities finally crack down, the Riparu will be caught in the middle.
So the Dawnstar help out?
As best we can. Most of us came from Raid Saris after the Vorlis Plot and the Saints War. Or we were born to families that did. We remember what it's like to scrape by.
Her eyes stray to the stained and spotted floor for a long moment. I see.
Some days, I think maybe this is why Aethys brought us to Deadfire. So we can do some good. Other days, I'm too damn tired.
Okay, bye. Are we diseased now? Do we have the lung? Do we have the black lung pop? Sounds a lot like cholera, actually.
Is there any way you can bring Islamir back? The whole point of suppressing her was to keep her out of my head. I miss her impressions.
Go to Thilis' house. Maybe we can find some lootables. We can find some lootables. She's not even home right now. Sold. Alright, we're gonna make our way pretty straight towards the tavern at this point, I think, because I want to get that quest underway.
We're awake right now, aren't we?
Yes.
They took him. For what?
Oh, I hit
Taro's
fast
the
forward by
second this
accident.
month.
And they say the pittings aren't increasing. Do they lie to themselves or just to us? At this rate, who'll be left to suffer the Mataru's ire?
Beneath the dirt and mildew, these carvings look finely detailed and very old. The hole looks like a tap. Ooh, there's a guy named Roperu there. No, Roperu is the place we are. Right. There's some big people here, like an ogre.
How did you hear that about the boss?
Here, no?
Dario said there's treasure.
Seduzo. Who's Seduzo?
Shh.
This raw Italian sips ramrod straight. On the table near her are half-empty liquor bottles and a small porcelain cup, full smell of anise. She looks like she's trying to blend in, but her unnatural stillness and her bright, spotless attire make her stand out like a reef fish among the rocks. Her eyes find yours.
Harami!
I am here, Seduzo Nui.
Do we expect any foreign merchants today?
Seduzo keeps her eyes on you, even as she speaks to the soldier. There's only a brief pause.
We do not, Seduzo Nui.
The captain chips uncomfortably.
Then state your business quickly. I want to avoid another surprise.
She glances around quickly, as if she expects someone to jump out of another corner of the tavern. What you doing here?
Nearly done, I hope. I sold a consignment of iron and cultural coral, and will return to Rauatai with vorals, merkberries, and Ondra stars.
She shifts in her chair, tugging at her conspicuously clean and bright clothes.
Are you writing that down?
She raises an eyebrow at Seraphine.
Nay, lass. We're merely moved to a momentary bout of verse by the beauty on display before me.
He clears his throat and secretes the scrap of paper and secrets the scrap of paper into a pouch. I don't think he secretes it, because that would be weird. Irked as Jyoti runs her tongue all over her teeth. Let's hear it, Seraphine.
They're very bawdy rhymes, Cap. Not meant for prim and proper mercantile types.
He rubs the back of his head. She looks at Seraphine as though he were a particularly talkative rodent. She turns back to you.
Anyway, that's what brought me here.
She fidgets with her cup. You seem nervous. Does the Royal Deadfire Company know you're trading here? She sets her glass down with a loud clatter.
The Royal Deadfire Company would frown on business in this district. But there's no harm if they don't know.
She laughs nervously. See.
What is your business with me?
What's your business
Nearly
here?
Done, I hope.
First one. Odd that you'd take your business to the slums unless you're trading legally. Okay, so it's all the same thing. Do you know the way to Delver's Row?
I would have nothing to do with such a place.
Her posture stiffens even as her eyes flit across the room.
But I hear the proprietor might know more.
She points discreetly towards the bar. Okay. Thank you. We'll talk to that person in a minute. There's a Vithrak hanging over here. That's creepy. Tasty mind snacks. Why are you so creepy, Vithrak? Just looking around a little bit. We'll talk to the proprietor as well. There's also a whole nother room back here. There's several more. This is a big place.
Romaro ain't never brought me down here. Oh, gods, I miss that man.
There's a worried pig here that I'm going to save, named Onyx. And we found an ink harp. Let's talk to Berta.
Why do you bother me, little kith?
You enjoy working here?
No.
She hawks a fat gobbet of spit. It lands beside the food she's preparing and splatters.
The gullet reeks of illness. The beds are too small. An imp tried to nest in my hair. And Firna, the tavern keeper, refuses to give me more than 1 day off a month. How am I supposed to hunt when I am chained to this stove?
She scrunches her face into a grimace.
Maybe I'll become a pirate. Get myself a bird and an eye patch.
You should join my crew.
How do you mean?
We have need of a cook, and I admire your work.
I don't work for free.
I'll pay for you. She examines her coins for a moment. They look tiny in her giant hands, almost like a child's plaything. She shrugs.
This will do. For now.
She pats her meat tenderizer thoughtfully and gives you a small nod.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean...
You didn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I was getting sick of sleeping indoors and not having any broken bones, it's true. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There's something accusatory behind Edier's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Not that you don't have a darker side to you, but it hasn't gotten in the way.
Thanks.
Well, you were having a silent chat with the dead dwarf lady when I met you. Takes a special type to overlook something like that. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I have strong feelings about everything.
I guess I'm lucky we got similar views then. Or it seems that way when it counts, anyway.
Edier heaves a sigh that sounds like it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Easier to worship a god when their worst traits are swept under a rug.
Yeah, I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He adopts the smile and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you too.
He lets the finger drop and the smile fade.
There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
I think the world deserves better.
Is that something we can ask for? Seems like the gods might take that personal. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing.
Well, too late.
I think this was just a long way of saying, I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke. Alright, everyone out of the room so I can rob it. Oh, so we picked up a new group member. That's kind of neat. Oh, we should have saved. An armored man stands by the far wall, observing a more lightly clothed woman as she busies herself with a handful of wires. The room falls silent and you find yourself the center of attention.
We've no intent to disturb you. Please carry on.
Bayer, I don't know this one.
She nods towards you.
We asked not to be disturbed. What are you doing here?
He grips his weapon and studies you closely. Sorry, wrong room.
Good. Now get lost.
Now I can quick save.
Relax. We're emptying a vault, not water shaping. Once is an accident. Twice, and you're a little too nosy for your own good.
Aren't you one of the Berdetto guards?
Well, that's the end of subtlety.
Bayer readies his weapon, his features hardening in resolute expression.
You told me you weren't followed.
Sally can't know that I was here. Bad news for our new friend.
He clenches his jaw and advances. He hefts his weapon to square off with you while Persis scrambles for cover. Well, this is actually an easier group. We only have 4 enemies, which isn't so bad. How are we not in combat? I want tentacles. We are officially in combat now, and we can almost get Silent Scream. Now we can get Silent Scream. Alright, let's do this thing. Oops, that's the wrong ability. There we go. Yes! We actually have good abilities now. This is going to go better for us, I think. Can we dominate somebody? Let's try and dominate the burglar. He's out of magic. You can second wind yourself. Did we get it? We did not get it. That's okay. We hit that guy for 58 damage. Let's really take him down, though. He's dead. That burglar's pretty much the only one that's left. Our tentacles are taking on the other one. That burglar's jumping around is kind of irritating. There's another cut purse back there, I see.
Feel pain. Kinda stuck over here.
Word. Oh, we can't move.
take much more.
Can you second wind yourself before dying? Try and immobilize these guys.
I'm feeling the strain.
Okay, you guys go after that one. You guys can fight that one.
I need something stronger.
Make him burn.
I need something stronger.
That spell right is definitely dead. Any good loot? No, just vault schematics. Hi, Persa. So your friends didn't last too long.
You killed him. Let me go, and I won't say a word about what happened here.
Persa's voice quivers fearfully, and she's rooted to the spot as if
The
paralyzed.
Bardato sent you, right? No need to kill me over a family tiff, eh?
Hello, I'm the one who's going to cut your throat if I catch you anywhere near the Bardetto house.
This job? I'm out. It never happened.
She slaps her palms in a dismissive fashion and holds them out to you.
The Elder's plan was for everyone to converge on the Bardato vault. You won't find me anywhere near the Bardato fortune. Can we agree that that's worth sparing my life?
Give me every coin you have and I'll let you live.
Deal. If I can just find that damned pouch.
Persa curses and mutters to herself as she furiously digs through her pockets, finally producing a sum of coins that she flings across the gap to you. Silly people and their plots. They were gonna make a bomb. But we're not quite done in here. There's like a lot of side areas. There's also upstairs.
A hole in the wall, is it? On, well, account of it being an hole in the floor. Never mind.
So we got a new crew, an ogre crew I might add, that's pretty sweet. We also have, you know, disrupted that little plan. Which I hope is going to get us some sweet money, because I still need cash.
Leave it to
I'm
me.
poor, and I need all the money I can get. What is going on in this room? Weird. Can't interact with anything, but...
Where there's a pick, there's a way.
There's a lot of wires and stuff in there.
Not sure I can.
You need to close the door, so I can rob it. Any named people? No, that's not stealing either. That leads somewhere. And there's another door there. This is a larger room. There's gold pack knights in here. Anyone named Orin? That's not even unlootable. Neither is that. Okay, so there's gold pack knights in here. This could go either way. A dwarf sits before a generous and curious spread, steamed mussels arranged in concentric circles, browns of flatbread stacked in a neat tower, and melons sliced in even triangles. Yet his attention is focused on the 4 cups and the bottle in front of him. He has the cups organized in an almost perfect square around the bottle, but as you look on, he leans down to adjust one. The others with him wait quietly and observe the ritual. I'll just wait. Holding his breath, he takes the bottle and measures an equal serving of wine into the cups, making 3 or 4 passes over each. His companions look on with practiced patience.
Don't see why you'd spend all that time arranging your food if you aren't making it look like a funny face.
At last the bottle is empty, and he places it in the exact center of the square. He picks it up and puts it down in the same spot twice more before he's satisfied.
Cheers.
They all take their cups and drink deeply. At last the leader turns to you.
What do you require?
Do you know the way to Delver's Row? He wrinkles his nose.
That sounds unsanitary.
What brought you here?
We had a contract with the Valian Trading Company to defend one of their most valuable properties.
He glows with pride.
If you're looking for work, I hardly recommend them. They pay well, and they pay on time.
He raises his cup, and his companions do likewise. Seraphin leans nearer you, grinning.
Consistency in the shipping lanes. Good for types mercantile, but better for types piratical.
Did you say something?
Just admiring your spread, my lad. Nothing better after a meal than a ripe pair of melons.
I don't think he's talking about food. That guy's got some serious OCD, though. I guess there's nothing to do with that just yet. Oh, let's go loot a table. We'll sell all of the ale. I literally am going to sell everything that I can possibly get. Because there's so many things I want to buy that we need literally everything we can find we'll buy. But I think that's going to be the end of our video here. In the next video, we'll find out where Delver's Lane is. We'll head back and hand in that other quest, and then we'll go from there. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Others, I'll see you all next time. Take care.